Oh, yes. Okay, cool.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to hand over the mic to these events to share the stories of the people who really work tirelessly, or the people who show up here day in and day out. And I know a lot of folks are from out of town, but this is a good opportunity for us to see ourselves in each other's struggle, to hold each other, and to see how we can come together to continue to support each other from all corners of the world that we're at. So I'm going to hand this mic over to Ms. Marie, and for those of you folks who feel compelled or would like to share some stories with some of the relatives here who come from out of town, who maybe don't know about Bayview, who are just now arriving, yeah, just find this mic. But I'm handing this over to Ms. Marie Harrison.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
For all of those who don't believe, my name is Marie Harrison, and yes, I am still alive. Scientific information. This is in lieu of a real introduction to my scientific brain. So that is a himser, shot, okay? So I go to Senator Harrison, and when she makes a decision, she'll let me know, and I'll pass it on.
There you go.
So, I guess what I want to say is thank you all for coming out. I truly, truly, truly appreciate and love you all. Know that comes from my heart. We have a battle on our hands that some of you might think should be over with, but sweetheart, we're just beginning. Okay, we're just beginning because we now not only have truth behind us, but we have people from all over the state who have come to realize we don't lie.
Yes.
We don't cheat. We don't have to. The truth is in their face. And the truth is in the face of our elected officials. And I don't mean just here in San Francisco. Let's go to White House.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Congress. Because, honest to God, we are being left behind in the dirt because they won't listen. Some kind of way, they don't think that we're smart enough to know when we're ailing, when we're sick. We're not smart enough to know when something is just not right. I know that I'm not the biggest brain out here. That's why I rely on my scientific friends. Okay? I don't mind telling you that because I'm not smart, but I am not stupid. And I wasn't born yesterday, okay? I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. And by the way, I'm a great-grandmother, okay? So that should tell you that I've been here for a few days. But I want to welcome you. And I'm supposed to lead you in a chant. However, I don't think the oxygen's going to last long enough. So I'm going to let that's what we have young folks for, okay?
Right.
I want you to see my babies here. They going to do the chanting. I'm going to cheer y'all on.
All right.
All right.
Just do it.
Okay, we're going to do one chant just to get the blood pumping, you know? I know some of y'all are probably digesting your food. How many, raise your hand if y'all were at the march yesterday. Hey, okay, so y'all probably know the song. People gonna rise like the water. You know that song? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna remix it today. Y'all down?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last part, instead of saying climate justice now, we're gonna say clean the shipyard now.
All right.
How does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, so I need y'all to see, those of you who know that song, I need you guys to back me up, because my throat's also kind of like, I'm young, but my voice is a little squeaky. Okay. People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean the shipyard now.
Hey.
People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean the shipyard now. I can't hear y'all.
Clean the shipyard now.
Calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean that shipyard now. People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna calm this crisis down. I can hear you, Bradley. I hear the voice of my...
Hold up. Hey, hold up. saying, because I know I didn't hear all of y'all. There's enough of y'all out here for me to hear. So I want you to raise your voices, put a little in it, okay?
All right.
So I can cheer you on. Now let's go again.
All right.
Come on, for those folks who are standing in the back, we got plenty of space here to close up the circle, so don't be shy. Come close. All right, and for all those people who are from Baby, I want to hear you extra loud so we can leave that good energy here with the community members, because they're going to be here. We're going to go, and they're going to stay here, so let's sing for them, can we?
Yes.
¿Se puede? Okay, let's try that again for the top. Okay.
Rise like the water, we're gonna calm this crisis down.
All right.
I hear the voice of a great granddaughter saying, clean that shipyard now. People gonna rise like the water, we're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter saying, clean the shipyard now. We're gonna climb like the water, we're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean the shipyard now.
Right now.
People are gonna rise like the water, we're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean that shipyard now.
One last time, let's do it loud.
People gonna rise like the water, we're gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, clean that shipyard now.
All right, so let's hear a little bit more for some of the folks who want to share. There's some people who, this might be their first time coming here. They don't really know what's going on, but they're down. So let's hear from some of y'all. Do you want to?
Okay. My name's Dr. Vincent Fortson. I've met several of you, and I was elected to the Restoration Advisory Board of the Hunters Point Shipyard year 2000. That was the year that the Parcel E landfill caught on fire, and it was like a symbolic act that landfill caught on fire because it literally and figuratively sparked the environmental justice movement in Baby Hunters Point that Marie had already ignited with the opposition to the PG&E power plant that she ultimately helped shut down, and she has been in the battle to clean up this shipyard for 25 years. The Hunters Point shipyard has an incredible history. My dad, George Donald Porter, was a longshore walking boss and a shipping clerk for American President Lyons, who died prematurely at age 58 from pulmonary asbestosis, and that was one of the events that brought me into this fight and keeps me into this fight. And in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to someone who I love and trust, Dr. Ramona Tasco, who is well known in this community. She was one of the fighters in the Black Student Union at San Francisco State University, and her dad was a shipyard worker who died of mesothelioma. So she's going to be speaking to you in a couple of minutes. But I want to do something that is going to help visualize in your minds what we're dealing with when we talk about the extent of radiation contamination at the shipyard. In 2001, I founded the radiological subcommittee of the shipyard RADM, and I contributed to what is called the Bible of the shipyard's history of radiation activities. It's called the Historical Radiological Assessment. And I'm going to give you a document, a map that was developed by Tetra Tech. And it appears in the Navy's radiological base-wide workup. This is from the Navy. I didn't make this up. You know, I didn't sit in the kindergarten classroom with a bunch of kids and draw this. This is a map of the entire Hunters Point shipyard, and the only thing that I want you to understand from this map is that everything in gray is radiation impacted or contaminated, and everything in white is not. It's that simple. The areas in blue are underwater areas that are radiation contaminated. Let me point out something else to you that you would not, that you might miss if you didn't read the small print. These are radiation contaminated buildings that have been cleared on the naval base, and they're on parcel A, parcel building 815 and 821 and 322. These are buildings that are on the parcel we're standing on right now that Lennar built houses on. So you guys can hold on to that, and anyone who wants to look at that is free to. I'm going to just make a couple of more comments. I want to talk to you about something I haven't talked about in the past, about the glorious history of this shipyard, and it is memorialized in that structure there. It is memorialized in the icon that Lennar 5 Point uses up there. It's called the gantry crane. How many of you know about the gantry crane? It's right down there. We're going to walk down there and you can see it. The gantry crane was the biggest crane in the world when it was constructed in 1947 by Bethlehem Steel. It is 9,000 tons. It is long and longer than the Titanic. It has a 200-foot drop. And the important thing about the gantry crane is that it was used to change off turrets in battleships. The gunmoe pier, which is at the end of where the gantry crane sits, that is where one of the target ships that they blasted with radiation in the Bikini Atoll in 1946. You guys remember Operation Crossroads, where they took those ships down there and they deliberately exposed ships and servicemen to massive blasts of radiation and shot Able and shot Baker and then hauled those ships back to the Treasure Island Hunters Point Annex Naval Station, and one of those ships that was radiation contaminated was docked right down there at the end of the gunmoe pier beneath the gantry crane. The other thing you don't know about the gantry crane is Operation Skycatch. How many of you know about that? You know, can you tell me a little bit about it?
That's the one where they would try to have rockets, and they would tie it to the chain, and they'll let it go up in the sky as high as they can, and then the train was so strong that it'll pull it back down into the water. Yes,
incredible. And those are Polaris missiles. Polaris missiles have 3 thermonuclear warheads at the top. They would shoot some of those Polaris missiles out into the bay and then retrieve them. And they did that from the gantry crane right down there. Now, the importance of what I'm telling you, the importance of why I'm talking to you about this is because the gantry crane, the gunmoe pier, those are Parcel D. Parcel D, that's the gunmoe pier. That's where the gantry crane sits. And right here, under the current development plan, there is a Shipyard South multi-use district, and Lennar wants to build houses there. Can you believe that shit? No. Can you believe that anyone would try to cite human beings, children, pets, and animals in an area where they shot missiles up in the air, where they brought a target ship back that had been irradiated with blasts of nuclear energy from the South Pacific, and where there is a history of radiological activities? That's one of the reasons why we are here today, because we need to stop this. And do you want to hear something else that you're not going to believe? The Navy says that it's not okay to build houses on Parcel G. The Navy generated a document in April 2017 that says that there is no residential development allowed on Parcel G. And despite that, Lennar wants to do it. Despite that, there is a Department of Public Health representative named Amy Brownell who recently said that it's okay to build houses there. So that's a little bit of the history that I just want to share with you to kind of bring you up to date. The history of the shipyard is glorious. I'm going to end with one other statement because someone recently contacted me about the community benefits plan for the shipyard. They wanted to try to impress me that our opposition to them building houses at the shipyard is going to have an impact on the community benefits plan. Lennar's community benefits plan is based on residential development. 32% affordability. There's millions of dollars that go into helping people buy these condominiums, but the local hiring is going to take place if you have residential, commercial, or industrial development. In 2004, this is an incredible piece of history. A group of Bayview Hunters Point residents got together and they formed a resident stock ownership corporation, and they filed an administrative complaint, and they said that this is a public land. It belongs to these people, and we want a residential stock ownership corporation so that you would own the shipyard, so that you could say we can have residential or commercial or industrial development here, so that you don't have to depend on Lennar like it's a welfare agency to dole out some benefits to you. You would own that. And what I want to leave you with is the thought that maybe it is time for us to reconsider the value in coming together as a community and owning this shipyard. If you want it, it's dirty, okay? But at least we'll say industrial development is okay here, or commercial. You can build a shopping mart here, but you're not going to build any houses and grow any vegetables or fruit on Parcel G. So I know I've said a lot. I just want to turn it over to Dr. Tasco because she's going to bring a very powerful perspective here. Dr. Tasco was the medical director of a community health organization in San Francisco, and she